Alright, so this is my first YouTube video, so take it easy on me, but also give me some constructive criticism. What I'm going to talk about today is slab flattening. And for the most part, what I've seen is everybody's going against the fundamental thing that we all learn right away in woodworking, is they're going across the grain. They're not going with the grain. So let's get on to this. What I did here is I just secured my slab down so it won't move, right? It's not moving anywhere. All I did was I shimmed it on two sides where it was rocking, and I put some hot glue. Secondly, I'm going to be using this guy right here. This is a router flattening jig that I've made and modified to suit the purpose that I see fit. I use this jig actually to flatten this workbench that I'm working on right now. So large scale, small scale, it works great. So yeah, all I'm gonna do is get set up here. So hold on a moment. All right, now after I'm all set up here, I made a few modifications to my sled. First off, I'm gonna show you the way that everybody's doing it, or for the most part, what I've seen. Type in slab flattening on YouTube, and the first thing that pops up is woodpeckers. Maybe it's because I like them, I don't know, or it's ad. But the second one that pops up is the samurai carpenter. And that guy's a freaking genius, but he's flattening the slabs wrong. This is of course my opinion, and let the results of this little demo here speak for themselves. But you can see in his video when he's doing his real nice and fancy up close shots, I'll try to get something like that in this video here, and you can see the ripples and undulations, as our friend Paul Sellers likes to say, in the surface, and it's just so rough, and you got to do so much work after you get done with your router. Now when we take and we build other things with our router, that darn thing will put a real nice round over edge on something and we just touch it with a little bit of sandpaper. Why aren't we expecting that from our slab flattening? Why aren't we changing up our ways? Well, I guess that's why I'm here. So we'll take and get going here. I'm gonna get some PPE on and we'll make a go of this. Some time has passed, and I made a little jig in my jig. So let's take a look here. As you can see, I got a piece of threaded rod. This is your 3/8 by 16 thread. So it's got a pretty good advance rate for the palm router. These blocks I just drilled some holes through and made sure that my center line was higher than anything on the plate of my base of my router. First time around, it didn't work out that way, so second time around, with a little bit of a modification, I was able to make it happen. And there you can see I have like a threaded insert for the 3/8 inch rod, and I have it screwed in with some little washers and screws to hold it. The tangs that actually broke off of this, I had it on my router table and broke it when I was tightening it up, but good second use for it. Then over here I have a washer and double nut on either side of this block that locks this rod in place but still allows it to spin. And then over here I've got a nylock nut with a little washer to stop my socket, and then a jam nut. So let's give it a whirl and see how she works. So before, I had a board here that I would clamp in place and just move that board forward incrementally, just the same as this 3/8 rod does. What this 3/8 rod does is it takes a little bit of control and puts it into the sled and the router itself. This isn't fastened down or guide blocked down. You could take and formulate a way to have guide rails on here that this would key into and slide real nice, but that's just another place for wood chips to get stuck. This is not a perfect process because you don't have a good way to do dust collection that I've found. You could probably try to sneak something in here and run it up along with your cord, but it's not going to catch all your chips. That's why after each pass, you want to clean off your work area, clean off your piece, clean off underneath of your runners or whatever you've got set up. If you've got your runners like I do that are floating on my flat surface here, or if you've got runners on the side, you level all out and then flatten your piece with. Just make sure that you clean up in between each pass. So we're gonna hit this with the first pass, and what I'm gonna be doing is I'm actually got this block here that's gonna ride up against the edge of my fence, and I'm gonna cut with the grain like you should be doing, or in my opinion, should be the way that it happens. So let's give this a whirl and see how it does. Alrighty, the heater shut off, and let's go take a look at this and see what it looks like. None of that crazy cross grain tear out or anything like that. I'll admit this does look a little bit better on camera than it does in person. You're not going to be working at taking out milling marks. And of course this is just soft white pine on your hardwood, and with a good bit that's better than the straight cut 3/4 inch bit, you'll have even better results than what I've got here. All right, so what I've just demonstrated here is what we all know. You work wood with the grain. I sure hope that this helps out anybody out there. I've said it to numerous people online, but I figured I'd make a video on it. Nowadays, everybody goes to YouTube to check out how to do things, and I myself do the same thing. I've had my experience, but even I went on YouTube to go look how to do slab flattening, and I came up with the jig that you see me using here. I just wanted to show what I've learned through trial and error, and wanted to clear the waters and let people know that you don't have to get a crappy finish from your router. Thank you. I really do appreciate you coming and watching this video though. Leave a comment. Let me know what you do. Follow me on Instagram. I'm Jinja Builda. Instead of the ER, I'll just put a link up. Whatever. You guys all have a good one and enjoy woodworking. And make some videos. This is my first. Let's see what you got.